Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Stepaniak and I'm with the 21st Century Learning Department. Today we are going to talk about using Microsoft Teams for your digital school day assignment. You can use it for your classes and lots of other things as well, but today we're just going to focus on the school day assignment that you can create so we don't have to come back to school after the school year ends. Super excited about that. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find Microsoft Teams on our computer. There are several different ways to do that. One way is to go through your OneDrive icon on your desktop. If you double-click the OneDrive icon, your screen will pop up with all of your files in your OneDrive. But on your waffle here, you can select Teams. The other way to select Teams is for you to open up your internet browser, go through Chrome, makes things much easier, and type in portal.office.com. And that also opens up your OneDrive account. Here you have your icons. You can select Teams, or you can once again find your waffle and go to Teams from here. The third way that you can do this, if you have already used Teams in the past, is you might have it on your desktop already. You might have the icon if you've downloaded it already before. So once you open up Microsoft Teams, we will see how to set up your class team. For all of you teachers, your class list of students should already be imported. I have several teams already listed in my Microsoft Teams account. You have icons on the left. Clicking on Teams shows you all of your teams. Files shows you all the files you have. As you can see, it connects not only to your OneDrive but also to your Google Drive, which is really nice. You can select assignments from here as well. But we are going to go to the Teams icon, and then we're going to find our school, which my pretend school is the 21st Century School. I'm going to click on that icon, and I have a General tab. Every team you create has its own General tab. And then over here, you see I have 21st Century School, my General tab, and then it shows we have conversations, files, class notebook, and assignments. You do not have to use the class notebook just for the digital school day assignment. You can certainly use it with your class. It's an amazing tool, and we can get into that a little bit more later. But for the digital school day assignment, you simply need to select assignments. On your assignment screen, you'll see that you have a list of assignments, and then on the right hand side of the screen you have review and create. So you are going to create a new assignment for your digital school day assignment. On your assignment screen you have lots of different decisions to make here. You have whether you're going to assign it to just this class, or let's say that you have, if you're a high school or middle school teacher and you have 3 periods of the same subject and you want to assign it to all of them, you can click here and select the multiple classes that you want to assign your school day assignment to, which makes it really nice. So then you're not having to do this 3 separate times, you're only having to do it once. You have to decide on a due date. It is highly recommended that you follow the district's absence policy. So giving the students a day after they're absent plus another day to complete the assignment is recommended. We have to really keep in mind that many of our students don't have access to internet at home or even technology, computer, laptop, tablet, things like that. So we want to make sure that whatever assignment we do create for them, we give them sufficient time to be able to complete it. So another nice feature here is that you can create multiple assignments for different classes, but you can assign them at a later date, scheduled to assign later. So let's say I want to create assignments, but I don't want my students to see that assignment until I actually assign it. And let's say I want to assign it next week. I would just click here on schedule to assign later, and then I can actually give it a date and a time to assign the assignment to the students. So that makes it really nice for you as the teacher. Will you allow late turn-ins? Yes or no? If you do not allow late turn-ins, then it will not allow students to submit their work if it's past the due date. So just keep that in mind. Do you want to award them points for the assignment? If so, how many? Or if you don't want to do points and you want to just do a rubric, great thing you can do is create a rubric in Microsoft Teams. Very easy to do. You can either create a new one by selecting new rubric here, or you can use an existing rubric that you have. You can see I have a haiku success criteria rubric that I created. So I could use that for my digital school day assignment if that's the assignment that I'm wanting students to accomplish over that day. If I do a new rubric, you have an entire new rubric screen that shows up. This is really nice because you enter the title and the description. Again, if you're giving points or not. And then down here is where you are going to put in your grading criteria. So over on the left-hand side, we have spaces for, let's say you want grammar as a criteria. You would just either hit the plus key here to add another section, or you can select the little page icons and it will actually copy the section that you just did, which is really nice. So maybe one section is grammar, and we'll say punctuation. And the next section is maybe creativity. Depends on what you are grading your assignment for, and so on. And then here up in the upper section are your grading criteria, and so you can customize this to whatever you want. This one particular one, the default is excellent, good, fair, and poor. And you can see I'm using these right hand and left hand arrows here to navigate in my screen. You can also add more using the plus key of those as well. So once you're done with that, you hit done, or I'm going to hit cancel. You can also, if you have another rubric already, you could actually attach it in the add resources area as well. But when you add your rubric through Teams, what makes it really nice is that you can just do all of the grading right here within Teams. And then you can just transfer those grades to your Infinite Campus account. So we have our rubric here for our assignment. Our assignment title is going to be a digital school day assignment. Instructions, please complete. You might want to give more complete instructions than that, but adding resources is really nice because this is where you can add any types of things that the students need to complete the assignment. So it might be a file, it might be a website, you can do links to websites, videos, anything like that that they would need to create an assignment. If you're using Class Notebook, you can also link to a page, it will only do one, a page out of a Class Notebook for you to do. If you want them to create their assignment into a new file such as Microsoft Word, maybe you want them to type an essay or write a poem or something like that, you can actually, as the resource, you can put in a Microsoft Word document. We'll just title it assignment page here. We're going to attach, and then you can see down here in the bottom of the screen here we have assignment page. It's a Word document, and if you see here, students can edit their own copy. So that means that each student will have their own copy of the Word document that you just created for them to write their assignment on. So when they submit it, you will receive, if you have 20 students, you will receive 20 separate Word document assignments from your students. So you can also select that students cannot edit that document. So maybe it's just instructions or that kind of a thing. So that's your choice. In a previous assignment, I'll show you here. Let's say I want to create from an existing assignment. Let's say I already had an assignment built that I want to just simply use. So I just chose my school. I have an ELA snow day assignment down here that I'm going to use. Hit next. These are all the details of that assignment. I might want to change the due date. You can see here that I've got instructions written. Please write a haiku about your snow day experience. I have my haiku success criteria as a rubric over here. And then under the resources of this assignment, I have a video how to write a haiku. I have a video examples of haiku poems. And then I have the ELA Snow Day Haiku Doc, which the students would access this to actually write their snow day assignment on. So you can see here it's just a blank Word document. I could create it and say that I need their name at the top. And maybe the date. And it's automatically saving because this is using Word Online, which is really nice. So I don't have to click save or anything like that. I simply have to X out. And those changes that I made are on there. So each student, when they open up their snow day doc in their Microsoft Teams, when they go to assignments, each page will look exactly the same, and then they can write on their own copy, which is really nice. So getting back to our assignment here, let's say that, again, let's say maybe your grade level all want to do the same assignment for the digital school day, or as a department, maybe all biology teachers or all science teachers, math teachers, maybe each separate subject area wants to do the same assignment for the digital school day. What's really nice about this is that you can add those teachers back to your school here on the left hand side of your screen. The 3 dots give you more options. You can manage your team, add channels, add members, leave the team, edit the team, get a link to the team, or delete the team. So what you would want to do is you're going to actually add members to your team, but you can do this 2 ways. You can either do it through the Manage Team screen, or you can simply click on Add Members from here. You'll see that you can either add students or teachers. This also comes in handy if you have students entering your class mid-year or after you've already set this up. You can manually add students here as well. But let's say I want to add my co-teachers to my team. I'm going to search for teachers just like I would search for them in our email. So you'll see it comes up if I'm searching for Tara. Tara comes up here. I can click on her name and then I can add her. She will be a teacher within my team. And I'll click close when I'm done. Now, in order for them to have access to your assignment that you created, they're going to want to open up their Microsoft Teams. They will go to their team, they will go to Assignments, they will go to Create, and then they will say From Existing. And then they will find your team that they are now a part of. And then they can find the assignment that you want to share with them that you're all going to use. So they're going to click on that assignment. Either click Next or you can double click. It allows you here, you can now customize it. Maybe you want to add another resource for them, or you want to add something to the instructions, change a due date, something like that. You can make all of those changes here, and then you would assign it, or they would assign it then, and it would be assigned to their class. So each teacher can do that if you make them a co-teacher within your classroom, which is really nice. So when it comes to grading the assignments that were turned in, Microsoft Teams makes it really easy for us as well. So back to that assignments page. You see I have a list of all the assignments that I've distributed. Assignments that you have not ever assigned, they still show up. You can see I have several drafts here. They show up as drafts until you actually assign them, which is kind of nice. But now what you can do, you can also see things that have been turned in. So I have 0 of 4 were turned in for this digital school day assignment, and this one as well. So, and this is, it's a running calendar. So up here you can see, I had 1 out of 5 students turn in their snow day assignment up here. So it's a nice at a glance of how many students have turned in their assignments and whatnot, and the different assignments you've assigned. So when I want to grade these, going back to my assignments page here, I'm going to click on Review. And then it gives me a list of all of my assignments that I've assigned here. And I can move back and forth between them. And down below here it tells me who has turned in their assignments and who hasn't. So Miss Sherry has turned in her assignment. Oops. went to the wrong screen. So back to review. Miss Sherry has turned in her assignment. Here you'll see there's a feedback icon that you can click on, which allows you to give kind of overall feedback. Here you could also do this in the other screen as well when we actually go to score it. Here the points show up here. If you are doing a manual, if you are using a rubric, the computer will automatically calculate all the points for you, which is really nice, and it will put them in here. Sherry has turned in her work, and this would say student work right here if I hadn't already returned it earlier. But we would click here on student work, and now it shows us her snow day haiku document on the left hand side here. And on the right hand side we've got several options. We've got her name, when the work was turned in. Here is the actual document if you wanted to open it up right there. And then we've got our rubric here, and then this is that same screen for the feedback that you saw in the previous screen. So in order for us to grade this assignment using the rubric, there are two ways to do that. You can either click on the rubric name itself, and it brings up the rubric screen to the right of the work, which is really nice and handy because then you can actually see the work and the rubric at the same time. You can go through the different levels of the rubric here. In this particular rubric I have mechanics of the haiku, content, and grammar. For this haiku, those are the things that I was grading on. And so it says here, I'm on mechanics of the haiku here. I have my excellent, fair, and poor. I click on the selection that I want. So I see here Miss Sherry Dunn has in fact has three one-line stanzas, which my haiku has at least one three-line stanza. So that's an excellent. So I'm going to click on excellent. It highlights it, and then I can actually provide feedback on that for that particular rubric criteria. I can provide feedback for that one right here, which is really nice. And then I'm going to go back up to my down arrow, and I'm going to go to content, and I'm going to look at the different categories here, and the instructions were for them to write a creative description of what they did on their snow day. So you can see here Sherry wrote kind of a vague description, something kind of related to a snow day, but definitely not something about the snow day experience that she had. So I graded that with the fair with the 2 points, and then I'm providing feedback down here as well. Now I'm going to go back up and go to my grammar and punctuation. Don't see any errors, so I'm going to give it a 3, and it's an excellent. My haiku is free of any grammar or punctuation errors. Click that one, give it some feedback, and now I'm done because I've gone through all of my rubric options. I've graded it, and now I'm going to click done. Now you'll see it automatically gave her 93 points because the assignment had an overall point amount total of 100 points, and so it does all these calculations for you. It's really cool. So the nice thing is now is you can either use your right arrow to move to the next person to look at their work, or you can use the down arrow and you can see all the rest of the students here, and so you can select them just in case you don't want to just go right on to the next person. So maybe Tara hadn't turned in her work yet, but Tina did. So instead of clicking through Tara to get to Tina, I can just use the down arrow here and I can select Tina from here. So it automatically saves everything. Once you are completely done with the providing of your feedback, and remember, feedback should always move learning forward. In the training document, there is more information on that as well. Dylan Willem is an excellent resource for how to provide effective feedback and moving that feedback moving learning forward. So I'm going to X out of that assignment. Now you can see in the assignment screen now under student work, it shows that I returned Sherry's work to her. And here's the points that it generated. I can click here if I want to see that feedback again or not. And then I'm all done. Of course, now you'll have to take your grades and you have to enter them into IC. However, the grading of assignments and things like that here in Microsoft Teams is really, really simple to use. So, if you have questions about using the class notebook, that we can answer that at a later time, but it is also really easy to do. Each student will have their own class notebook. You can use it for science journals, or there are just so many uses for it. It's a really amazing tool, so I do highly encourage you to explore a little bit. But that's about all for creating your digital school day assignment in Microsoft Teams. If you do want to see all the members of your team, if you need to see your students, clicking back over to your school and the three dots, if you go to Manage Team, that will show you all the members of your team. So an owner is a teacher. If owner shows up, if they're students, they will actually say students. Since none of us in our department are actual students, we don't show up as students, but for our purposes here today, being a member of this Microsoft team is being a student. So settings is where you can provide some permissions for doing certain things. Managing your class notebook, you can do that from the settings here as well. So I highly encourage you to explore Microsoft Teams, maybe be able to use it for more than just the digital school day assignment, because it can be a very powerful tool. So if you have any questions, please email us at 21st Century Learning Department, or my email is jstepaniak, that's STEPANIAK at washawschools.net. So I look forward to working with you further, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.